I don't know.
You actually look stressed out. Is actually okay?
I've seen them when they said that.
Oh.
I don't know her. Oh, okay. Don't listen to it.
Hello and welcome to No Empty Cups. Myself, Rose. We've got Chris, Yannick, and me over there.
Boo, 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 bam,
And I'm sure
bang.
you can already see who our guest is. Everyone must know who he is.
Yeah,
but we've got none other than
Atsu.
actor
Mooney.
and filmmaker Femi Oyiniran.
Hello,
Hello,
hello.
Femi.
Hey.
Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, we need to do that all over again.
Keep going.
We need to do it all over again.
Look, these are my trainers I don't really like.
So sorry.
Hey,
Hold on.
These are my, like, I'm just stepping out the
everyday.
house. Yeah. My name is Femi Oyiniran. I'm an actor and I make films now and I do lots of other things in between. It's wonderful to join you guys today and get some Apple shit on my trainers. But like I said, these are like the trainers that I don't care about. These are like I run in there.
Wait, hold on. So you're trying to say you wore your your crap?
Yeah, what am I dressing up for? It's not everyday dress up, you know. I literally left my bed to come here.
Hey, boop, 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 boop.
Thank you.
And we appreciate it,
No,
bro.
I was actually like about to sleep, and then he was like,
Don't lie, you knew about this 2 weeks ago.
Yeah? He's not called Yannick.
You can't keep
I'm sorry.
You can't keep
Hey, listen.
government.
I can't call you Yannick because it just feels
It doesn't
fake.
make sense.
Feels like
Should
I'm
I
not your.
reintroduce him
It
then?
feels like I'm not his friend.
Because on the
So what's
caption,
it?
We went to
Asni.
primary school together.
And
you
now
know.
all of a sudden it's
So
called
your
Yannick.
name's Asni.
No.
Yeah, Asni.
Asni.
He's the real Asni.
it's like Big Shaq, you know.
Every man.
Hey, Big Shaq.
Oh, Skutnu. Skutnu.
All right, let me
you scoot me.
And then as Dean.
Asdi. Okay, myself,
Asdeen.
Rose, Asdeen,
Yeah.
You can call me that if you want.
and Chris.
Excuse me.
We're
Who's
calling
me?
you
Hey,
Yannick.
hey, listen, my name's
Scott
not
Snyder.
Chris.
Yannick.
Hey, listen,
No
my
more
name's
Yannick.
not Chris.
You
My
can't
name's
change your name on the
Christopher.
show.
Oh
Chris.
my god. What is this? Is this the deep episode?
Nathan. Nathan is here. You know.
Whatever you
Might
want
call
them
me
to know
Steve
you
for
as.
Deptford again, innit? Like,
No, your name is
still.
Asni.
I'm just
Asni.
saying, bro.
Asdeen.
I'm just saying, bro. I can't sit here
And
and
then-
call you as. They could call you whatever the fuck
But
they
the thing is,
want.
Yannick is actually my name as well.
Yeah,
I care about
I
Yannick.
totally understand
My
that.
mother calls me Yannick.
No,
so
but
She doesn't
it's
care
just
about
like
it,
it's just
clearly.
like my whole family calls me Abiodun, but I'm not called Abiodun to
Wait, your
anyone.
family calls you what? Sorry.
My whole family calls me Biodun. They will sit there. My little sister does not call me Femi. My mum does not call me Femi. No one calls me Femi in my house.
No one calls you Asdeen.
But I know you as Asdeen. You can't introduce yourself to me as a 10-year-old as Asdeen.
And then now,
I'm 30 and you're telling me that you're called Yannick.
I did it once. Tell Femi my name is Yannick.
Huh?
Call me what you like.
Exactly. I'm just letting you know.
Call me what you like.
Like to me, you're Asdeen, innit? You're
Is
not
that the only
Yannick.
name you know?
I have
Asdeen.
very different names, man. I have Tayo.
Because he calls
Wait,
himself
hold
Tayo
on,
too.
hold
He
on.
calls himself Tayo. You see this Tayo? I didn't even know Asdeen was Ghanaian for time.
Ghanaian.
He's Nigerian. Ivory Coast.
Hey, listen. Hey, listen.
Man said Ghanaian, you know.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
You do look like you're
I'm
You know what?
No,
You
no,
just
it's-
mentioned something, yeah?
Go on.
You said you're 30.
Yeah.
What do you do for your 30s?
Yeah, what did you do
I
for
can't
your
even
face?
remember, you know. What's
You didn't invite Yannick, did you?
Asdi.
That's your brethren!
No, I did
Yannick,
invite
but
him.
invite
I did
Asdeen.
invite him. I did invite him. I put in the
You
group
invited
chat.
Asdeen,
He
not
didn't
Yannick.
come. I put in the
Yeah.
group chat. I put in the
What
group
did you do for
chat.
your birthday, actually?
I had do you know what? I didn't really want to do anything. I wanted to go away, and but everyone was like, "What are you doing for your birthday? What are you doing for your birthday?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't really want to be here with you lot." But what I ended up doing,
Hey, bro, I feel you.
No,
guys.
but
It
why-
gets like that sometimes.
you know what's mad? What I ended up doing was my friend Ace, DJ Ace from One Extra, he was having a party on my birthday.
Name drop.
So I did, yeah, I'll do it all the way through.
Yeah.
And then he basically had this party and I just said, "Oh, can I just take it over and just make it into my birthday?" And that's what I did. So I was at some party in Oxton Pony, and that's
yeah.
it. That's
Did you
it.
invite Asdeen?
I did invite him.
I actually
You
remember
invite-
that. I actually
I-
remember
I-
that.
From
It
primary
was a group
school.
chat. It was a
I
That's your
invited
boy
it. It
from
wasn't a
primary
group
school.
chat, and he
It was
didn't
a
come.
group chat.
It was a group chat. He
He's a
didn't come.
snake.
didn't
I've been
come.
saying that for time.
It's not every day everyone comes to your 30th, you know. It's
True,
not that
true.
deep. It's not. Like I didn't even want to be there. Like it's not that deep.
To experience.
But I wanted to go away. But I went to Nigeria a few days later, and that was fun. Nigeria was fun. It was lit. You can get lost in Nigeria, you know. It's like LA. You could just go there.
What
You
part did you
could
go
you
to?
could just party every day. Like I was in Lagos, so I was in on the island a lot, and like you could just party every day. Lagos is like you can't. There's no turn up like a Lagos party. Like literally, like there's people in parties in clubs buying fridges. Like,
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. So you went to a club in Nigeria and they're selling fridges on the bar?
No, people buy the fridge.
So you don't even get to buy it.
Like people buy a fridge.
We'll buy the whole fridge.
Yeah, they'll buy
That's
a
a
whole
stunt.
fridge.
That's actually a stunt.
Wait, hold on. In the club?
Yeah,
That's
did you
stunning.
see that?
And then
My
my-
friend, my friend said to me, one of my friends, he's quite well known in Nigeria.
Name drop, please.
No, I'm
Name
not going
his
to. Because he's married and got kids and stuff. But he says to me, you know, like, in London, guys have it easy, you know. Guys have it easy because in Nigeria, you have to ball to get a girl. Like, in London, yeah, you and your boys will go to a club on a chances one. You add 20 pounds together, you buy a bottle, you sit, you stun, you're pouring the... Everyone's hugging the bottle, like, taking pictures.
So what are you trying to say? In
Girls
Nigeria, you have to buy a fridge to be
In
balling.
Nigeria, you really have to spend money, man.
Man said you have to buy
Oh, you have to buy a fridge.
No, you really have to spend money. Like, you know, like there are guys spending. There are real ballers in Nigeria.
Yeah, man.
Like, you know, only a few times did I go out and spend money. But then, what's weird about Nigeria? I went to see my grandfather as well. He's like 106 years old.
Oh wow.
And like, I went to like the small town, small village. Like, the money, like, I gave them like the equivalent of like what you'd buy like a Hennessy bottle, like in Lagos. But then you're literally an hour to like two and a half hours away in a small town, and that money, like, people are just gassed, like, oh my gosh, you've just given us 100 racks, like, oh my gosh, like, really excited. But in Lagos, like, people are spending that on bottles. So like the worlds are so polarized. So you on like the rich are really rich and the poor are really poor. But like you don't need that much money really in the smaller parts to get by, to be honest. But it's just really sad, man. Like, just it was fun, but at the same time, when I went to see my granddad, that was the drive I needed actually for my 30th year. It was like, after that, I was like, you know, I went to the small town that I grew up in. I spent about 2 or 3 years there, and I just looked at it and I was like, you know what, like, I've come all the way from there. I just need to keep hustling, keep going. And I was so driven, like, not on nonsense. I don't want to go to any parties.
I heard.
Sauce, man. It's a very.
So do I need to bring a fridge to get entry to a club?
That's funny. No, the fridge has to be bought from the club. You don't bring
They
it.
sell
you buy
fridges
it.
in the club.
You buy it.
Alright, I think that's
That
enough about fridges now. We need to.
That's
Mad
funny.
fridges,
Let's
cuz.
get to this.
We need to take some shots.
Okay.
That's what we brought you here for, Femi. We need to take
That's
shots.
mad because I drove. So if I get arrested on the way home,
Blame Asdin.
Uber.
I'll play
That's
Asdin.
Uber, man.
As
That's
you
it,
want
man.
to.
Uber.
My car's right outside.
Just say your name is
Tayo.
Asdin.
My name is
think
Tayo.
I'm gonna-
I'll give you date of birth
Alright,
and everything.
so in one of the cups, we've actually put water.
But I actually know his date of birth.
Yeah.
And
So you
everything.
can use
I know
everything.
everything about him. This
Yeah,
is
you
what
can use-
I know his
There you go
address.
then.
Like, you know, like, I know everything about him. It's really funny.
Oh, this is mad.
Yo,
This is
so
not water,
sorry.
bro. This is fucking.
Okay, so
alcohol.
This
Basically
doesn't
what
smell
we've
like
done-
water. You just give yourself water.
Yeah, she took
You
it.
take
I
this
know,
one.
I know.
Take this one.
Hey, listen,
Yeah,
listen.
let's
Hey,
swap.
to
Let's
fridges.
swap.
Alright, let's stop.
Hey,
Yeah,
to
give me the
fridges.
water.
Hey,
It's not water.
hey, to fridges.
Alright,
And to what
someone's
cup?
got water in
Abuja?
a cup.
Yeah, it's
And
not
the rest
me.
of us have alcohol, yeah? So, no empty cup.
No empty
Empty
cups.
cups.
To fridges in Abuja.
Rose, you've so got water.
Fucking up.
don't.
Well, so Chris has got the water.
Fucking
No.
up. Do I have
Yannick
water?
has the water.
Asdin.
Did you have water?
I had nothing. Hey.
Oh, you were meant to have nothing.
Oh,
So why didn't you
exactly.
take it from him?
Because you know what
He's
it
not
is?
gonna let me have
I
it.
couldn't do the switcheroony. It was too late.
Alright, cool. Let's do this.
Alright, cool.
So what
Let's,
happens next?
let's
We
get
just drink more. We just keep drinking.
Yeah. You know, if you want to, we can drink more. You know.
it's a
I'm
discussion.
alright. I'm like.
We haven't actually put you
Calabash, yeah.
Alright, talk us through your history, like where were you
What,
born?
my life? I was born in Lagos.
No, calm down.
Man said, where
Where
were you born?
Where you
I
born?
told you Lagos.
Yeah, you just said Lagos.
Which hospital?
Bruh, boy. Man, like, it's not like London, you know. I was born in hospital. I can't remember, bro.
Oh no.
I used to know. I legit used to know, but I can't remember.
What, like proper hospital for real though?
Yeah, it was legit hospital.
Because I was born at
Proper
home.
hospital,
No,
like
I
it
went,
was.
I went, no,
Some
there
of us
was,
are civilized.
there
Still.
was a legit hospital still. We were kind of balling still, like, we were all
You know,
right.
why not talk about your journey from?
From Lagos still.
Not even Lagos.
No. Talk about the journey from Lagos to here.
So I lived in Lagos for like, born in Lagos and I moved. I remember like my dad passed away shortly after I was born when I was 1, and then I moved to some place called Ogbomoso, which is in Osun State, and so I lived there for a bit, and then I moved to go and live with my grandparents in a place called Modakeke, which is where my parents are actually. That's where I'm from, and both my parents are from there. I went and lived with them, and then I moved back to Lagos, and I came here.
Okay.
So it's kind of like really it's Lagos, punctuated by lots of
How old
other
were you
places.
when you got here?
10. That's when I met my man.
Yannick,
Are you trying to tell you his name was?
Man like Asdi.
Asdi.
Do you know what the thing is? Not everyone knows all my other governments now. Do you know what I mean? There's too many governments out
Yeah,
there.
why you betting yourself
we
out,
only said
fam?
Asdi and Yannick. You told
Bro,
us
all you had to do was
I gave you
pick
two.
one.
What, year
I
7?
gave you 2.
No, I was.
I can't say it no more.
Year 5.
I can't say it no more.
You
But
can't.
you know what?
Year five.
Everyone thinks it started off acting. Like, talk to us about your journey from.
Well,
like,
when I used to spit bars,
Yeah.
yeah.
What was it? MC Blaze?
Oh, that's funny. I was
Blaze.
Blaze. I was.
Blazy?
Do you know what's mad? I was Thunder Blaze. Yeah.
Thunder Blade.
Thunder.
You know when you're young, yeah.
No, not
No,
trying to
no,
blame you on
no,
that. Not trying to blame you on that.
No.
Listen.
How did you get the name? How did
You
you?
know, like you just make up a name, innit?
No, you didn't make up a name,
Fam.
fam. How did you get the? Where did you get the
Fam,
inspiration
I
from?
just thought, like, me, I remember everyone was just coming up with a tag, and I just wanted a tag, so I called myself Thunder Blaze.
What was Asdi?
And I thought that was dead.
yeah, fam.
I thought that was dead. I can't. Asdi didn't really have one that stopped.
Yeah, I kept switching. It
They
started
really have-
it started a
You know what?
sniper.
I'm gonna put you on
and
the
then they
spot
just
right
moved
now.
from then
Yeah.
and then Tree Man. All
Where,
those
wait,
things.
what was the first bars that you ever spot? Go on.
True. Do you remember it?
Yeah, go on.
I remember the first few bars. So I remember
Yeah, go on.
I had an ABC bar because everyone did. ABC 1, 2, 3. I can't remember how it went, but I do remember like I used to have a lyric that went, practice, make the perfect. Once a perfect, I get my Rolex. When I get my Rolex, I get my Avrex. Bang your girlfriend.
I was listening.
Hey!
I remember the Rolex
Hey.
one.
And then I used to have
The
another one.
T-Rex.
I used to have another one that went basically just face it G. All your lyrics are basic G. Hot like fire,
That's when
no
you're clashing
blazing
as
me.
D.
Indispensable, no replacing me. It's Blaze MCs and I Blaze MCs. When I step on the mic, something Lee. Something. So like, these were my early bars.
Hey, in your defense, yeah,
Mm.
your bars are better than some men.
Slightly, them bars, I'm spitting them now. Like they're actually
Like
a little
who?
bit better than
Like
real
who?
people's bars.
Huh?
But I came up with them when I was like, what, 14, 15. Slightly, it's better than like a lot of people's bars.
So when you were you a grime artist then? It was grime that you was doing.
Everyone was doing grime. Like
So
when I was a kid, when I was in school, there was nothing else. Like there wasn't like unless you grew up in South man were doing this hip hop thing hard. Like
Yeah,
they
they
never
had no
like,
beats.
they
They
would
the benches. We actually had speakers.
The
You
word-
know what I
But
mean?
you
You mean we? You're not from South?
No, but to
I
be
didn't say
real,
for South. I said North, cause
to be real,
been lying.
like if you were from
Yeah,
North
basta.
and you were East, like in my age group, all you did was grime. Like that was the only sound that was popping. Like when we were that young, like you know, like everyone was on. The minute it come out, the sound come out, it was so solid. Then everyone went on to like we didn't really touch Heartless Crew because we weren't really raving, so it was so solid. Then it went on to like Pay As You Go, and then everyone clocked about Wiley, and then we started listening to Rinse FM. Like not like how it is now, because obviously it was a pirate radio station, and then Deja, Mystic, Heat FM, and like everyone was just on grime. Like so, I was a grime MC. I did that for a little bit. I only stopped I stopped when I had children. I thought you can't be trying to act and rap and when you just had a child. Like face your books, man. Face
How
something
many
in
kids
it.
do you have?
I've got 2 kids, but like when I had my first son, I consciously stopped doing music because I was like, it's kind of stupid. Like, why are you
How
trying?
old were you?
I was 24 when I had my first son, so like, I was like, it's stupid. Like, you know, why am I trying to spit? What am I proving? Just concentrate on one. People respect you as an actor and a filmmaker now, hopefully. Like, so just do that. Concentrate on like, stop. Why are you spitting, bro?
let's talk about acting actually.
Mm.
It's so funny because I didn't even know. We're going to talk about Kedhood, obviously.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I didn't even know you were in Kedhood. I went to the cinema with my friend, And it's crazy.
Because you're a hater, bro.
Wait, hold on. So wait, hold on. That's your brethren from primary school.
Bruv,
Yeah. Wait, no, hold on.
Go on.
That's your brethren from primary school.
And you didn't
And
know.
you didn't know
I didn't know.
that he was on
Wait, did you
kidulthood.
not tell him?
Do you know what's
His
mad,
biggest
though? Should I be
break.
real?
Do you know
Should I be
so
real?
mad?
That's how.
Should I be
Wait,
real? Should I be real how it went?
What happened?
So I went college around the corner from here. It's weird how life works. I went college St. Charles, just like literally up the road, 5 minutes away. And like what happened was, in my first year of college, I got a part in this film, kidulthood, but it didn't get made. But I gassed it all round my ends a little bit. Like, I'm gonna be in a film.
Where is he from?
I'm from Holloway, so like I'm gonna be in a film.
north.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be in a film. And the film didn't get made. A man started coming up to me. I didn't tell bare man, but I told man on my estate, and like they were like, "Oh, so where's this film?" And I just felt embarrassed. So then I made the film, and I was scared to tell people that I made a film.
Oh shit.
Because again, it didn't have a release date. So I made the film, and then it came out 18 months afterwards. I did the film when I was 17. Came out, I was in uni. I was like doing law, it came out at a time when I thought, you know what, I've made this film, but it's never gonna come out because it had been so long. Yeah. And so it was like I didn't really hype it to anyone because I just thought, you know what, just chill, bro. Because what if it doesn't come out?
So how did that come about, you getting into kidulthood? Was it like an open audition?
Yeah, at college. So Noel Clark went to St. Charles, which is the same college I went to. 10 years before me, he's like 40. So like he went to St. Charles, and he wanted to audition new talent from his old college, and then I went for several rounds of auditions, and a year later I got the role basically, and that was it, like, to be honest. But it was like open audition at my college, so it could have been any of the kids at the college.
But at that point, did they already create the character Mooney? Or
Yeah, I didn't make it. No, it was real.
Okay.
It was written. Like, it was all written. Obviously, like, you characterize it, and I made it mine, and like, you know, I added in words and like expressions and all of that stuff. But you know, the character was there. Like they'd already, the film was there. How films work, the script. I'm doing it in intent too. I start shooting in 2 weeks. But the script's there, like, and obviously the actors are gonna come and add their own flavour. But like, there's a 107-page script.
Is that an exclusive?
It's not, you know, like people kind of know.
Oh, no. Wait, hold on. So you told someone else before you came here?
Leave the whole one.
Man gave you drink and that,
Man's
make
not
you
hot,
live
man.
life and that. And
Let's never jump to the intent though. There was,
Intent
you know,
too. That was a good film still.
There was a bit
but
before the
carry on.
intent.
Yeah,
You know,
there's quite a lot.
There's just a lot.
There's a lot, man.
kidulthood,
There's a lot. It's a
there's
hustle.
Another hood.
What's the
down
movie
hood.
called? It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. You produced and
I wrote that. I wrote
you
that.
wrote it?
Yeah, me and Nikki. So Nikki came up with the
Is that
concept.
Nikki Slim thing?
Yeah, so he came up with the concept and I wrote it, and it was like my first movie, man. It didn't really bust, like, really. I was quite upset, to be honest. I remember, like, you know, imagine, I wanted to, you know.
No, did you
do,
cry?
do you understand
Did you
life?
cry?
Yeah?
Did you cry?
I wanted to. Let me explain it to
No,
you.
did you cry? Yes or no?
There are moments
let
in
him
life.
answer.
Let me
Yes or no?
explain it to you.
Cry,
Let me
yes or
explain it to you. I would have happily cried. Do you know what? There's moments in my life, yeah, where when it hurts a lot and I want to cry, but I can't cry. Do you know how heartbreaking that is?
So you smile.
No. I wanted to cry. I was broken.
Why
I don't think.
why did you not cry?
Because I'll tell you why. I don't know why I didn't cry, but like, I would have happily cried because it would have made me feel better in that moment. Not sometimes, like, as black men, I will tell you, in moments, there's only like few moments that I've cried, like as a man.
Yeah.
And like when my first son was born, I saw like tears were just coming. I didn't want it to. Like, but I saw this person and I was like, this is a real person and I'm responsible for them. And they're going to grow up and they're going to be like me. And I thought, wow. In that moment, I was like, you know, I gained a new appreciation for my mum. But then outside of that, I struggle to cry. But wanting to cry is painful. You know, like wanting to cry and not being able to, because I was in a car park of a cinema. And like, I saw that 4 people had gone into the cinema to watch the film. No, so I sent my writing partner, Nikki. I said, Nikki, go and check. Like, went into the cinema. He said, like, only 4 people had bought tickets. I was in the car park. And I told those guys, you know, I'm going home. So, yeah, I went home. I just went back home. And
What was this for?
And I went to sleep. No, it's a lot. It's a good film. It's a good film. It's a comedy. It's about a kid whose parents go on holiday and he takes their car to college to impress a girl. and crashes it, but it's like a Lotus, like a sports car. It's based on like Ferris Bueller's Day Off and like Risky Business. It's a cool little film, but like it just didn't resonate with the audience, like but that was heartbreaking moment for me because remember I've been in kidulthood and adulthood and motherhood, and like, I've been to the cinema when those films have opened and they're sell off. Like you can't even buy tickets. Like you know, I've been really well. So every time I make a film, I go to the cinema to watch it with like normal people. But I don't obviously make an announcement that I'm going to be in the cinema. But I watch it. I just sit in the audience, wear a hood and a cap, and I just sit and I watch the movie, and like I just take in the people's reactions.
How does it feel watching yourself on the screen?
I was very nervous first time, but now it's just like I'm never happy. But it's one of those ones. Like it's like when people take pictures with me, they're like, "Do you want to see?" I'm like, "I don't care." Like if it looks,
I care.
If it looks crap, like if it looks crap, it looks crap.
You know that.
I'm just letting you know. After this, we're taking a picture together.
That's fine.
Yeah, because like
we've got to.
For you, like kidulthood is the first place that I saw you.
Yeah, of course.
But after that, you've done more than that.
I've tried.
Like not only just acting, man's gone to producing, director.
And you've
done
got your own
other
production
things.
company.
Even politics.
Yeah. So I run my own production company. I mean, politics is what I studied law at university, like, and you know, I've always I've had the opportunity to be involved in like different. So whilst I was involved in kidulthood, I became an ambassador for this thing called Smart Justice for Young People that was looking at better ways to sort of not send people to prison, like young people to prison. Yeah, exactly. And then I moved, and then from there I've always had political causes. So like, you know, more recently I'm ambassador for this organisation called Prison Reform Trust, and then at the same time I was on the commission for Digital Democracy Commission, which John Bercow, who's the Speaker of the House of Commons. But I suppose that what happens is once you're an actor or you're someone, politicians and people like that are always looking to you to like sort of co-sign their thing. Yeah. And obviously I've got access to an audience that are not necessarily into politics. So like, you know, I was also involved in Grind for Corbyn recently. You actually created the hashtag. I didn't know. People always say that. I did not.
Who created that?
Stop it. It was a girl called Femi. Like all these TV channels kept
saying, big up Femi.
You know, so man,
because you're the actor.
I think when you.
But how does that make you feel?
No, because hashtag Grind for Corbyn. Like, people think I created it.
Yeah, how does that make you feel?
What, that people mistake that? I think it's unfair on Kemi and the other girl, Jessica.
It
takes away from them, like, because like, you know, I'm not trying to steal anyone's shine. I'm like, it's very important to me that I don't take credit for anyone's hard work, because like I've got enough to take credit for. Like, you know, one of those ones there, like I'm not one of those people that will just like. But like those girls worked really hard. I came on board late, and like there's a core group of like 6-7 people, and I'm still working with them behind the scenes to try to get the organisation structured and stuff. But it's not my thing, like, you know, and I don't really want it to be my thing because I don't really have time for it to be my thing. I've got loads of other things on my plate.
Is there any reason why it was specifically grime for Corbyn?
Because like a lot of grime artists were supporting Corbyn, and grime is trending. Like grime,
I think JME
JME did an interview.
Stormzy as well.
Stormzy, everyone bigs up Jeremy Corbyn, and the grime is trending. Like grime is the most sort of culturally potent medium in England right now.
But don't you find it funny how that's changed? Because back in the day,
when I was a kid, when I was spitting bars, when I was in A, B, C, D, E, F, G, first I went to primary. No, but that always happens. Like, that always happens. And also at the same time, I feel like, you know, young black men are rising to prominence. And so because of that, things are changing, man. Things are changing. Like, some of the stuff that I see now, some of the stuff that I see my sister's generation, she's 23, my sister's generation, what they're doing, I think they live in a different world. Like, it's even easier for them than it was for me, and there's only a 7-year gap. So I think I think when grime came out, it was too raw, and over the years it's just become more refined, and it just I can't explain why it's big now. Like, well, Drake and Kanye West, but yeah, whatever. Like, I can't explain why it's big besides that.
So, like, you mentioned that you're
the alcohol's hitting me though, still.
Yeah. Isn't that palm wine?
I listen to this, yeah?
Like the little shot.
You mentioned that you're 30 now.
Yeah. I'm 31 soon. Like it's not even that deep.
Cool.
Like,
Let's just focus on
I've been
30.
I've been 30.
That's a milestone for a lot of people still.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people like
Get to that.
live
Not a lot
a
of
certain
people live to
lifestyle
30.
made to 30
Yeah,
still.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's
But-
like we live in South Central. Like.
How does
It's true
that?
though.
Do you feel like? Have you set certain milestones for yourself? Like, have you set certain goals for yourself by a certain age?
Nah, I
feel
used
like,
to, you know. I used to be like,
I'm running late, or like, I've
Nah,
achieved this by
nah,
this
you
age.
can't,
I'm
you
proud of
can't.
myself.
You know what?
like-
As you get older, you realize, yeah, like it's good to set goals and stuff, but you achieve different ones and you achieve different things at different times. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, you know, having a stable family with 2 children and maintaining that is an achievement. But like loads of people, like, don't look at it as such. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and also at the same time, like, I think you shouldn't put yourself under pressure, and you shouldn't put yourself under monetary pressure as well. Because I've been broke, like, I've had no money in my account, but like, there's a lot of times where I have lots of money. Like, do you get what I'm saying? So it's one of those ones where you can't really. I think when I was younger, I used to be like, yeah. When I was 21, I came out of uni. I went to a good uni, so like a lot of my friends. So I went to London School of Economics. I studied law. A lot of my friends went on to their, like, I don't know, like, minimum was like 35 grand a year job, and then it went on to like 70, and then it went on to 100. And like, even my friends, some of my friends now, like, you know, are on like £250,000 like a year. Like, do you get what I'm saying? From doing office jobs, you know, like legit office jobs. Like, so at the same time,
office jobs are a bit boring. So
yeah, I'm not even saying like that's not the point. The point I'm making, I was at the time thinking, you know, by the time I'm this age, I want to be like a millionaire, and then I want to do this, and then I want to do that. And then,
is this
like,
pressure?
I just think
is this pressure from yourself or the pressure from your parents? Because I'm
parents-
African as well.
My parents are straight. My mum owns property. She doesn't need money from me. Like, you know what? My parents are straight. Like, I'll be honest. Like, my stepfather, he owned the house, the flat we lived in. Like, you know, my mum owns property. Like, it's not like they don't need me to give them money. My mum likes calling me to ask for money, but she doesn't need it. Like, you know, one of those ones that, like, if I didn't give her money, she'll get by. But every conversation is, you know, my sister. You know, just because that's what they do. But for me, there's never really, I don't think, as young people, I don't even think you need that much pee.
I think no.
It's mad. You know,
what,
like,
what I'm trying to get to is,
on.
yeah, you did law.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So from like an African upbringing or whatever, like law, doctor, surgeon.
Yeah.
Those kind of titles, isn't it? It's like a title thing, isn't it? My son, my daughter,
but I was
done
smart.
this,
I was
this
an
and
A
that.
student.
But
A students study law. A students become doctors.
Yeah.
Like, I was an A star student. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, people going like, oh, you did law because your parents made you. I was smart. So smart people go on to do law and accounting. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not.
What I'm trying to ask you is this.
I wasn't under pressure.
You did law.
Yeah.
Your parents knew you was doing law in uni, and then you decided to be an actor.
Do you know what? My mum.
How did that?
My mum's
resonate
my rock.
to
You
them?
know, my mum's my rock. Like, I'll be honest. Like, I wouldn't be able to do anything in my life, like, without me and my mum are so close. Like, we really annoy each other a lot as well. Like, I get on her nerves, she gets on my nerves, but like, we were really close, and we really we have a tight bond because we've had to, right? Like, my dad died when I was a kid, so like we've always we have a different relationship, even more so than boys have with their mums. And so like, I remember coming out of uni, like, she didn't get what I wanted to do. She thought it was kind of dumb. Like, after a while, she was like, oh, this law, when are you gonna? So I'll just do like a few training contract applications, go for a few interviews, and I even went to law school. That's what's mad. Like, I was like, after I took a year out to do acting, I didn't get no work. I wasn't making no money. I was depressed. Like, I was waiting for my agent to call me, and then I was like, you know, fuck this, I'm going to law school. So I went to law school, and after that I got I got another hood, and I got another film called Demons Never Die, which was called Suicide Kids. And so I was like, you know, I'm just gonna do acting, and then I'm gonna make my own film, because if Adam Deacon can do it, I can do it. So
but before you decided to do that, how did that make you feel?
What do you mean?
How
I was broke. I was depressed. I just told you I was broke and depressed. Like, I was broke and depressed, and like, because imagine imagine your friends, like, because remember I told you about my law friends, my investment banker friends went on to 50 grand a year jobs.
Yeah.
And this was 2008, 2009.
Recession,
But niggas still had jobs.
Yeah,
like when you go to LSE, you still get a job. Like when you go to Oxford and Cambridge and LSE, you still get a job. Like forget recession, it could be any season. You still get a job at the end of it. And so like all my like friends from uni, they're going on to like really good jobs, and I'm there like I don't know when I'm gonna make. I was broke. Like I had no prospects. I was there. But then I was a law graduate from like one of the best unis in the world, so I was a bit.
So you always had something to fall back on.
But like I always knew like it's one of those ones where you can just do whatever you want in life, you know.
To be honest,
it's like you just need information, and we've got access to information thanks to the internet. You need knowledge. You need people to connect you. Anyone could do anything, more so than ever before. Like, do you get what I'm saying? More so than ever, you could do anything. So in my head, I was like, you know, I'm going to make this work. But then I clocked. I was like, who makes the most money on set? So I got on set. I've been on loads of film sets.
Producer.
They're like, who makes the most money? Who's that?
That's
like,
actually a smart way to
And
do
I'm
it.
like, okay, so that's the producer, yeah? It's director. I want to be director. But that's the one that everyone looks at and it's creative.
Problem.
But like, where's I'm Nigerian. I'm like, where's the P? Where's the P? Like, where's the P coming from? So when I was on Notherhood, that was when I decided I was gonna make films. And so I went to you could ask the producer. I just went to him. I was asking him questions about how much does this cost? How much does that cost? How much does this cost? How much? After a while, he stopped talking to me. He was like, he started to avoid me. Started to avoid me on set because I was there like.
At least you were getting the information.
Because I was trying to get information and I was trying to get knowledge because like I knew that was my next move because I that was the guy that was in charge of. Imagine that's the guy that decides how much everyone gets paid.
Yeah, of course.
Therefore, I want to be him.
Yeah, CEO basically.
So wait, hold on. So this is after you've gone to uni, done law, and then decided that it's not for me.
No, I've never decided law is not for me. What happened was I was in kidulthood, and then I did the sequel. And the sequel came out 2 weeks after I finished uni. So I decided, that's what I'm going to do. Because if I'm in a film that's 2 weeks coming out, this is the career. This is it.
But here's the thing, though. You decide that you want to do it because you actually had a passion for it. Or did you decide to do it because of the money?
People create. I wasn't getting paid that much, like in those films. Like, I just explained to you, like the producer made the most money. But what I'm saying to you is like, people always do this law versus acting thing. You could like bare things in life, you know.
Can do both.
I know.
Like people, I don't do both, but like now that I produce, like in order to close deals, you need to know law. In order to, I do the contracts for the cast and the crew. Like I did all the paperwork on the intent, the first intent.
Yeah.
We didn't have one.
We're gonna get to that later.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, but like you have to realize that it's like. You can't. The world, it's limitless. What you can do is limitless. You don't have to say it's not acting versus law. You find a way to merge the both. Or like no information is useless information.
Okay.
So, but anyway.
Okay, so we're now going to play a game. This is called He Said, She Said. So the aim of the game is we've got some names of UK artists written down in this bowl. So we've got 2 minutes on the clock and with 5 seconds to answer. When we pick out a name, you've got to say a name of a song they sang or sing a line from a song. Okay. Makes sense, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I bet you got Wretch in there. Oh yeah.
I actually do. So for every answer that you get wrong, you have to take a shot. For every answer you get right, you can either pick one person to take that number of shots or we can share it amongst the hosts.
Okay, cool.
Don't pick me, please.
Alright.
I'm doing this.
Ota Asni.
Asni. Alright, okay, so can we get 2 minutes on the clock?
Pronounce it proper right now. Like, she's probably
Alright,
saying it now.
go through.
Alright, 2 minutes.
Shall I just do it
He's
rather
got a
than
pumpy.
I should just do it, yeah?
Yeah, you
Same
just
time.
do it. Yeah.
You go first then.
Okay.
2 minutes on the clock. Go.
Alright.
Okay. This is very slow.
I've got
Adele. Hello.
No. Listen, you gotta say it properly. Hello.
No, go on.
Sam Smith. Oh my gosh. Can't remember.
5,
I know his songs as well.
4,
Give me a shot,
3. That's
can't
one shot.
remember.
We'll keep that for
Alright,
you
keep
later.
that. Actually
Alright,
remember his
another
songs.
name.
That's one shot.
That's 1 on 1, isn't it?
Bashi. Black Boys. Yeah, all Black Boys. Scorcher. I can't remember.
Yes.
Okay, that's 2.
Lipton thing, because you said that.
I'm on a lip sync thing.
No,
It's
you
too
don't-
late. It's too late, bro.
Too late.
Ashley's not helping
Ellie
you.
Goulding, I don't really know her.
Alright.
Okay, 3-2.
Aye, that's
Three
free.
shots.
2-2. It's 2-2.
3-2.
It's free.
Candle in the... Like an candle in the way.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but who is it though?
Free,
Who is
free,
it
free.
though?
It's
John,
mine, that's
Elton
mine.
John.
Kids,
Ellie Brown.
That's 3 shots.
Bags and boxes.
Yeah, who's that?
4-3.
Estelle. 1980, yeah, that God made
How
me.
many seconds we got left? This is more than
We're
2
getting-
minutes.
we're
Bag
getting
and boxes.
flamed.
I don't know.
Okay, 5-4.
We're getting
2,
flamed.
1.
It's not.
Finish.
Ah, yeah. Tractor.
Too late.
You actually got red for real.
minutes
Tractor.
done. 2
Tractor.
minutes done.
No, why are you trying that?
So it's
Say
5-4.
tractor.
Alright.
No, it's
5-4.
6-4. What are you talking about? I got a wretch.
So the one that you got right.
Yes,
Okay.
It is actually
So we
6-4.
got to
So
take
you got
6
Blaze
shots.
Brown. You said Bags and
And he
Boxes.
has to take 4
Adele,
shots.
1980s.
subtract
Adele,
it.
Hello, Bashy Black Boys.
He didn't
But-
actually say
Different,
it.
different.
He doesn't
2.
need to say the name of the person.
So the
it's
2
song.
is...
He got Ellie Goulding wrong, Sam Smith wrong,
I proper know
Elton
bare
John.
Sam Smith songs, you know.
Scorcher, Sam
Yeah.
Smith, and Ellie Goulding. So that's 3 shots. But he did get
6 right.
6 right.
Yeah, but we got
Basically.
4 right.
Yeah, we got 4 right. So literally the difference
didn't
is 2.
even
He,
get
Difference
anywhere.
is 2.
he picked 2 people.
So let's
He picked-
everyone just take 1 shot.
Fuck it, alright, come on. Alright, so
That
yeah,
just
yeah.
defeated the point of the game.
I thought we were going to subtract it and then the
We're
last 2
just
you
gonna
picked 2
take
people.
shots.
All I gotta say is, yeah, Rose, your phone's gonna get swallowed by the water. That's no.
Just me.
Rose, that's my nickname.
Which shot are we having? Anyone can choose anyone, yeah?
When I
Alright,
meet
cool.
you, girl,
I got
let's
the
have a
sing-up.
sambuca.
on you, bring you to the bar.
This is the calmer version of me.
You gave me your
know what I mean?
number, and you took my number. But you didn't call me back though,
Somebody
bitch.
call me Einstein. I'm a little done. Someone I'ma call me Einstein. I'm a little done.
You
So
want
you don't put
Sambuca?
shots for
You want
yourself?
Sambuca?
Yeah. You want a shot? You got a
want a
shot?
shot?
You want a
These
shot?
are like the world's worst shot glasses ever.
Got a
you know?
shot. You gotta take a shot. Oh, you want a Zambuca?
When I saw you, girl,
You had the eyes on me,
Are you
and
singing?
my eyes on you. Take it to the bar for a Zambuca. You gave me your number, and you took my number, but it was fake.
bang, 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 bang.
Oh, you're singing because you're not taking a shot. innit?
Alright.
No, we're taking a shot.
Take a
innit?
shot.
Really, truly,
No
he
empty
he
cup.
shouldn't be taking a shot. No empty
empty
cup.
No empty cup.
Alright, can we do that again though? Like, let's bit more vim.
Ooh, do it in slow mo, slow mo, slow mo.
Woo!
That is disgusting.
I got gym at 7:30 in the
That's
morning.
good, that's good,
Am I
that's
gonna
good,
wake
that's
up though?
What's
We'll
gym?
see.
What is
Let's-
gym?
Let's get into
I don't
this.
even gym no more.
We don't
Anyway,
gym
don't
no
talk about
Don't
this
talk about
guy,
gym.
please.
You were there.
When
fam.
I was there.
So you're saying you don't go gym? Anyway, we're not even going to talk about that now. Right
Man's
now,
got
let's get
hedge.
into a very interesting segment, which I really like,
Go
and I
for
wanted to, hear your thoughts on it. Now, you were in the intent.
The intent, yeah.
The intent. Were you a producer or director?
Yeah,
on
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Okay.
So I wrote that, co-directed it, produced it.
Okay. Now, my question to you is:
Yes, sir.
in the movie itself, you had a lot of artists, like grime artists, rappers.
We didn't have a lot, but gone.
No, there's about 4 or 5.
This is what people say a lot, but then there was Krypton Conan, Scorcher, Feki that were known.
Yeah.
There were a few other.
They were up and coming.
There were a few other rappers in there that CJ100, Fastlane Wes,
Yeah.
and someone
No.
else, but no one doesn't know them.
So, this is my question: is do you feel as if you're taking food away from actual actors and giving
it's a
it
good
to
question. It's a good question.
to
But like I just said, like, I put only a few rappers in a film, and also I put people that have value. Americans have been doing that for 100 years. Like, not 100 years, but like every single African American film that comes out that we consume, that we don't critique on that level, has rappers in it. Juice had Tupac.
That's true.
Do you get In Too Deep? LL Cool J.
Paid in full.
Paid in Full. Cameron.
State property.
State Property was all rappers. Belly, DMX and Nas. Do you get what I'm saying? But when we do our own, everyone's like, oh my gosh, you've like taken food. I'm not taking food. I made it to lot. I put a lot of actors in it. it didn't work. So I had to do another strategy. And
So you had to reshoot it? Is that what you're trying to
No,
say?
no. As in, I did it so long. That strategy left me in a car park wanting to cry.
Okay.
So I
Oh,
had to
okay,
come up with
okay.
a new strategy.
All right, I
And the
get
new
it.
strategy was to put people in the film that have a following. If Crepton Conan came in here now, I bet Rose would be screaming.
Why
Like,
Rose?
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying like, you know, like, but then if an actor that is a talented actor, I'm not gonna say anyone's name because I don't want no one to think I'm shading them, that I know comes in the door that has been in lots of stuff, you probably wouldn't even recognise them. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's about impact, and so it's about, I know if I put Crepton Conan, Feki, all these people in a movie, people are gonna care. If I put an up and coming actor, people might not care.
But I think that was a good strategy as well, though, because obviously you used to do music yourself. You do.
I'm part of that culture, like,
Yeah.
you know, I grew up in that culture, like, you know, a lot of people that work in music, artists, I'm friends with a lot of artists, I'm friends with, like, so it's like, you know, it's not like I'm like some culture vulture or nothing.
What's
like,
your take on the actual scene then? Like the UK entertainment scene, acting,
the UK
music.
nah, it's not the same. I feel like music and fashion are leading the way. So like you look at fashion, like, you know, like there's a girl called Vanessa, I can't remember her surname. She just left GQ to she was the publisher at GQ. Now she's at Vogue. The head of, like, you know, the editor, Edward Enninful at Vogue. Again, it's a black man, that's Ghanaian man. Do you get what I'm saying? So like the fashion's really forward. You got people like Jordan Dunn doing stuff. You got people like you lot got me too drunk, but there's a lot of models. There's a lot of models killing it. But then you've got, like, outside of that, you've got in music, like, you know, you've got people like Darkus, like Island, who run the label. You've got Twin, who's the head of Urban there.
Yeah, of course.
You've got like
Twin.
You got the other Twin B, who's like head of A&R at Atlantic.
Yeah.
You've got, like, you know, Manny Naughty is a A&R at one of the labels.
A lot of Ghanaians there.
Yeah, a lot of Ghanaians run music. I say this. I've got a joke that Ghanaians are they call themselves the Ghana Mafia.
Oh,
like,
wow.
literally, like, they
Manny
run.
Naughty,
There's
Twin
behind the
B,
scene.
all
Behind the scene, there's a massive Ghanaian. But besides them being from Ghana, the point is, like, you know, the music industry is very progressive, whereas film and TV is still predominantly a white dominated scene. So, you know, we've got a long way to go in that respect. That's why I lean on the music, because they're more progressive anyway. I always, like, you know, my next film is funded by a record label. So,
and that's not the intent too.
that is the intent.
Oh,
let's talk more about the intent too. You said you're shooting soon.
Yeah, I'm shooting 2 weeks. I shouldn't be here.
So you didn't have to pay for somebody then, yeah? But let's talk about, has it been delayed? Was filming delayed?
No, do you know what? It wasn't delayed. What happened was I closing a deal with a corporation. So Island Records is part of Universal Music. Closing a deal with a corporation's, it's not like, oh, give me money, I'll give you money. Like, you know, you have to go through a lot of checks and balances. A lot of paperwork had to be done, like, even before you start filming. So, you know, I suppose I was supposed, we went into a meeting with Darkus late last year, and he was like, yeah, I should be able to fund this. I'll fund this for you guys. Like, you know, we left that meeting and it's taken till, like, we only got signed the deal like a month ago or like 3 weeks ago or something.
You and Nikki.
Yeah, me and Nikki.
I actually saw the video you posted on your Instagram.
Yeah.
You were signing.
Yeah.
Was it Island Records?
Yeah,
That's
so
it.
we signed with Island Records, but it took us so long to get that deal. Like, do you get what I'm saying? So it wasn't delayed as such, but I wanted to film it early this year, but that wasn't God's will.
Yeah.
Everything happens when it should.
Is there anything else in the pipeline, let's say 2018 and onwards, apart from the...
I always have loads that I want to do. It's just whether you can do it. So, like, the Intent 2 is going to take me up to June now.
Yeah.
So I shoot it, then we shoot in Jamaica in January, then we edit, then we do all the sound mix, a sound post, then we do the picture post, and we do all of that stuff. So it's going to take me up to June. Then I'm planning on doing another film. I don't know if I can talk about it yet.
You can.
You don't have to tell us the title.
Talk about it.
Yeah, so it's about a guy going on a stag do to somewhere specific that will, like, evoke emotion from a specific audience, and, like, you know, everything goes wrong basically.
Are you the director in this? Or
I'm the director and I'm writing. Well, Actually, we're co-writing it with someone else because we don't have time. We've got deals on the table, but we don't have time to write the script, so we're getting someone else to write it. And I'll be directing and producing it. So yeah, that's coming out. And then we're working on a documentary about grime. Like, I love grime. We've got loads that we want to do next year. We've got loads and loads and loads and loads of work.
Do you think, do you see yourself venturing into, I mean, I know you're a director and producer right now, and you're doing a lot of live action movies. Do you ever see yourself going into animation kind of?
Do you know what? I'd love to for my children, but it's just a different thing. It's a different ball game. It's a different, like, animation's not the same. Like, unless I meet animator or like producers or like animation studio people that I like and believe in, it's just a different world. Like, it's not what I like. People, I like stories about people. I don't really like superhero films. Like, you know, they exist and I enjoy them when I watch them, but I like people. I like stories about real life people, and that's what evokes emotions in me. I think humans are so complex, man. There's so many layers that you can tap into with human beings. So, like, I don't get why people are so obsessed with other things, like, because it's like humans are complex enough as it is.
So are you still in touch with any of the you know, the actors from
Yeah. I speak to Amel and Adam. I speak to Amel a lot, even though he doesn't live here. He lives in LA.
Mel is Trev, right?
Yeah, Mel is the lead actor in Kiddo, Amel Amin. So I speak to him a lot. I'm always supposed to meet up with Jamie. She just had a baby recently, Jamie Winston. But I don't speak to her. I need to text her, actually. Just reminded me.
Jamie?
Yeah, the girl, the main girl, the white girl in it.
From EastEnders.
No, she wasn't in EastEnders.
The other one.
The one with that puffer jacket.
Yeah. For the first one, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
that one.
From Kiddo.
Yeah.
And then Adam is going to be in the Intent too. That's new. That's an announcement.
Exclusive.
So yeah,
I'm following him, man. He's cool.
Like, having this conversation, it's like, it's making it seem like it's been easy for you to transition from like just a normal person to going to uni and doing law, and then being an actor, and then you being a producer, actor, like director. Like, it's make it seem like so easy. Can you like just elaborate on, in terms of your journey, like in terms of like the struggles like right now, like it seems like you're sitting comfy and being like a like producer director. I'm in
a good place right now, though. It's going well, but there's sometimes it's not going well,
and that's all good. But like you've gone through a struggle. I can't imagine. I told you, easy for you to go from
like, you know, like, all right. So I'll give you. You want struggle? I'll give you struggle. Like I said, I was sat in that car park, but before that, rewind a few years before that, at 24, I got married and I had my first son. So at that point, I could have got a job, right? I should have just done, like, I decided I was gonna try and make it's a lot. It took me 18 months to raise the money to do that. In that 18-month period, I wasn't making any money. Like, I had a child, I had a wife, like, you know, and eventually I got the money to make the film. And so, like, I can go on about struggle, but what's the point? Like, just know it's hard.
Yeah.
But you're here.
You get what I'm saying? It's hard. Like, every deal that I've had has been hard. It's a lot deal. Took me 18 months to get. Lots of people let me down. Like, investors, other actors that said they were going to be in it, that are not in it, that I'm working with now. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, and I can go on about that, but, you know, and then the Intent, that was independent. We couldn't get a deal for the Intent. I took it to all the distribution companies. No one wanted to do it. So I got a job at a production company working on a show called Tin Star for Sky Atlantic. I worked on that for 6 months part-time. Like, I've never had a job for 6 months in my life. Like, I've never had any, like, genuinely, I've never had a job. Like, I got a job as a producer, assistant producer on Tin Star. And I worked on Tin Star so that I could get money to release the Intent. So I can go on about that if you want, like, you know, like, and then with like I said, the Intent was successful. We sold it to Netflix for 2-year license.
That's why I watched it.
And so then outside of that, we're trying to do the deal for the Intent too, but then it took us like 10 months to close the deal. Do you get what I'm saying? So, like, nothing's easy. Like, do you get? And in that 10-month period, I'm not getting paid. I don't have a job, you know. My job is this. I don't have a part-time job. This is not part-time. This is what I do. because you can't do what I do part time.
Yeah.
So the question is, what's your motivation to do what
I've got a family, I've got children, I can't lose.
You've got
I can't lose. I can't lose. My children can't starve. They're 6, they're 4, they're looking at me, they look like me.
Before you had
I didn't have the drive. I wasn't producing
before you had
kids.
a family. You were still doing this thing.
Yeah, but I wasn't producing.
What was
before
your
I had kids.
motivation then, and what's changed from
I couldn't
that
tell
to
you,
this?
but now all I know, the most potent motivation I've ever had is having children and having a family. Until you have that as a man, you don't clock levels.
Yeah, of course.
Because like when everyone's there and the bills need to be paid and food needs to come on the table and like the paint is peeling in your bathroom and you need to fix it and this, like, do you get what I'm saying? You have to win. You cannot afford to lose.
Going back earlier on, you mentioned that your dad passed away when you were 1.
Yeah, it didn't affect me.
Did that help you in terms of you being a father though? Because you didn't have one.
No, not really. Like, you know, I had my stepdad, and I always had strong male role models. So like my dad's dad, like was like, I would say is one of the most impactful people in my life. So my granddad, I lived with them for a little bit, from when I was 5 till I was about 7, 8, and like, you know, I still till today, like, you know, that was like my dad, like, do you get what I'm saying? So like he did anything for me, even more than his own children. So I always had strong male role models around. Like I had my stepdad who was there, like we weren't close, but he was there, like he was a present figure. And so for me, being a dad is hard, man. It's like, you know, because again, I'm that's always hustling. I'm with you lot. Like, I should be watching Strictly with my family right now. Like, do you know? No, but they're watching Strictly right now, but I'm not. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, and so like being a dad's hard because for what I do, because I don't spend as much time as I would like to spend with them. Do you get what? But then at the same time today, like today I went gyms like 7:30 in the morning, came back home, like dropped their mum to a training course. Took them to like did their homework with them, took them to like a party for one of my friends' children's parties, came back home and I'm with you lot. Do you get what I'm saying? So like you balance, it's a balance, man. It's a balance.
Here's a question. Are you doing this just to pay the bills? Are you doing this because it's a passion of yours?
I love what I'm doing. I love what you can't hustle for free for 10 months if you're not passionate.
Do you know what?
Hey, listen.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Because do you know what? My deal could get dropped at any time. In that 10-month period, because they haven't signed a deal, they could say we don't want to do the film
anymore.
So it's not about money when you've been hustling for free. Do you get what I'm saying? As you get older, yeah, but hustle, it's not shotting. It's not like selling drugs where if I lick a shot, someone gives me a tenner.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Like my hustle is different.
We're not promoting that, by the way.
No, like, bro, like, you know, do what you want.
Wait.
The views expressed by Femi are not.
On that note, yeah, a lot of people associate you with impacting change. You know, like a lot of people probably look up to people like you out there, young kids. Like, what's your message for them and how they can go about chasing their
Just
goals?
work hard. I wake up at 5 in the morning every day. I just told you so. I'm going to gym at 7:30 tomorrow. Like, because actually for a long time I wasn't in shape because I wasn't training. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get in from June. I've been going gym like 4 or 5 times a week. That's more than me. Like, because I'm like, you know, I need to get in shape because I was completely out of shape. Right. Do you know? But do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, I do. So like, you know, you need to set your goals. Like I'm a beast for my goals. Like I'm an animal. Like, you know, I will go hard. Like, do you get what I'm saying? And also trust God. Like my mum prays for me a lot. I pray for myself a lot. I think it's important. I've got people praying for me in my life. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's important to me. But at the same time, what I would say to young people out there, you're not going to make anything if you don't work hard. Yeah. I outwork all my competitors. That's why I'm gonna win. That's why I get deals. That's why my films come out and it's successful. That's why, like, I got a job, bro. Like, I've never had a job. I got a job. Like, I was hustling. It was still in the industry. It was still like, I was very fortunate, but it was a godsend really, because like we had this film, we didn't have a way to put it out. Imagine you shot the film, you raised money from investors, and there's no way to, because all the distributors said it's too black. It's not going to work, but it banged. So I believed in it so much that I took a risk.
How does that make you feel though?
What?
Proud. What else? How else would he make you feel?
How does that make you feel?
What, when they said it was too black?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a black man. I accept that I'm a minority in England. And you can't be bitter. Like, you just have to accept, like...
I said, how does that make you feel?
What do you mean?
Does that make you feel like, raw? It is what it is, or right?
What, racism? How does racism make me feel?
I didn't mention that word, you did.
It makes me angry.
Is it part of the reason why you started your own production company?
But like, you know what? Purple Gecko existed before me. So like Victor had a company, my business partner, and then I joined like, you know, about 2 years ago, a year and a half, 2 years ago. Yeah. But the main reason is like starting your own production company doesn't mean shit if you don't have any money to make stuff. You still have to go to. For me, the content I make is expensive. The intent is not cheap. Yeah. It's not like DSLRs. Like, do you get what I'm saying? It's expensive cameras. It's a big team. And so, like, I need, in order to make the intent 2, I need hundreds, 6 figures, minimum. Several 6 figures.
Especially where the first one did so well.
Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. And then when I'm doing the next one, people are going to want to get paid more. So we'll be going to the M's. Yeah. And so, like, that's not cheap. And like, you know, I've been to the black community. No one in the black community is giving me that money. So I have to go to corporations or I have to go to white people. So I can't be bitter about racism. I can't be angry. Racism, to be fair, racism is frustrating, and it saddens me that we still have racism in 2017. It's a bit ridiculous. Like, we've had Barack Obama, we've had, like, it's a joke thing. However, where we're at now, for me, I just feel like you just have to prove them wrong, man. Like, the intent banged, not because anyone else said it banged. It's got bare black people in it, but it still worked better than a lot of white films that I go and watch. So you just have to keep winning, like, you know. And it's Mandem season. It's Mandem season. Forget, you know, like when we were kids and wearing tracksuits, people just take the piss out of us. See all these white kids, you're watching them box. See all these white kids like doing pop music in tracksuits. Like in like colourful track, like, you know what I mean. So it's Mandem season, like, you know, that's all I'm saying. Being Mandem is it right now. You know, like, you know what this is, what you're portraying right now is passion, isn't it? Yeah. Get me? But how do you think that people take that? Like, do you think people will look at this and be like, I can do it, you know? Like, it's just easy, isn't it? Like, if it
depends on how much you want it.
No, like, it's not up to me what you do with your life. Do you get what I'm saying? If anyone's watching this, if you got goals and you wanna get them, you get them. Like I said to you, I wake up earlier than everyone. I go to bed later than everyone. I work till later than anyone. Like, I don't see my brethren. I don't, like, you know, like, it's not even that deep. Like, you know, I don't see my brethren unless I'm doing something with you. Like, we're watching, like, we're going to the gym. I don't see it's not that deep. Like, I don't really, until I make it, I can't be jamming. Of course. I've got, like I said, I've got 2 children. I've got a wife.
Looking up to you.
I can't jam. Like, that's old school. Yeah, I was jamming when I was 16, 17.
How does that affect your, like, just, like, regular relationship with your friends, though? What do you mean? I WhatsApp them. Yeah. Listen. You know what? You know what? Because you don't have children, you do not understand. Because actually, if you have children and you have a family, you realize your friends are secondary to your family.
Yeah, of course. No,
like, you know, like, my friends, like, if they don't get that me outside of work, my family takes priority, they shouldn't be my friends.
No, of course not.
They're not your friends.
You said that you approach a lot of people in the black industry, black community, to back your movies, and just didn't have the capital, just couldn't do it. You had to go to, you know, let's say a white corporate, white corporates or whatnot. Did you have to then alter, like, you know, your projects to kind of suit their tastes, or has that ever happened at all in the past?
No, I've never. Like, people think like, oh, because you go to these people, they're not. If you go to, like, the intent was funded by a distribution company which was owned by a white man, like, who I know and I speak to, and like, they didn't really change my story. They edit your script, they send you notes what they think, and they try to get you to change it, but you don't have to change it. So it was like 75-80% me. What I wanted. It's a lot. Sorry, it's a lot. Not the intent. The intent was fully backed by black people. It was all black investors. Everyone that put money into the intent, even down to the release. Like, because I made out like it was just me that put money towards the release. Like, my friends, a lot of my bankers, a lot of my lawyer friends put money into the release, and so, like, all that money came from black people. Every single person that put money into the intent, there was not one white person put money into the intent. It was all black people. So that was for us, by us. The Intent 2,
I was about to ask about
the
that.
Intent 2 is funded by obviously like Island Records, which is like owned by Universal. But the CEO of Island Records is a black man, like I
never knew this.
And my other exec there was a guy called Alex Boateng, like Twin B, and again that's a black man, and so like they're there fighting our corner. But at the same time, there's obviously white people in the room, but I don't think, like I said, it's man them season. People want that now. Like, do you get what I'm saying? That's not like you don't have to change. We're in a position where people have paid the price for us to be able to just be authentically black without having to compromise and having to dilute our truths. Like, whereas people before, when you get in a room, you're like, I might get a white girlfriend and like, I want to look the part, I want to fit in. I don't think it's that season anymore. Like, like you don't have to stop being culturally black to make it in the mainstream. So like, whereas in the past, people were ethnically black, so they look black, but then they had to stop being culturally black. So like, a lot of successful black people felt they're not black, he's a coconut. Because they have to stop being culturally black in order to assimilate to their new positioning. Whereas now culture has changed. Black culture in the UK is so influential that being culturally black is the coolest thing right now.
Okay.
And so you'd have to dilute yourself to get money.
I hear that. That's dope. That's dope.
They're not your friends.
Let's you know what? Let's step away from that now, because I feel like we've discussed that enough. Let's go to the music side of things.
Yeah.
I know you've done music in the past. You've given us a few of your bars.
Yeah.
But I want to know right now
10.
if like
10 out of 10.
Yeah, exactly. Who do you listen to? In the UK. We don't.
Do you know what? I listen to everyone. I listen to everyone right now because like what I realized at a point, I got like some Migos jumper on as well. Actually, it's mad. It's mad. But I realized at a point, when Migos and all those people are coming out, I was like, oh, what is this nonsense?
Yeah, it is nonsense.
And then and then I was like, there was like a UK movement that was coming. I was like, what is this nonsense? And I realized that that's how you become a dinosaur. So you have to embrace everyone. You have to be open minded. Like, do you get what I'm saying? You have to listen to Playboy Carti. Like, you have to do you get what I'm saying? Like, because actually, art, how you improve as an artist is by being influenced by a diverse range of art forms, and some that you love and some that you don't love. You don't have to love I don't love all the music I listen to, but actually it's good to have an awareness of what's out there. So like, I would say I listen to everyone, but like Avelino had a album or mixtape that came out this week. I listened to it. It's dope, man. He's
You
really
liked
good.
it? I didn't like it.
It's really good, man. I like him. I like Dave. I listen
that
to
was
Dave.
good.
Do you know what? Dave is like deep, man. He's like he's
a
very
poet.
he's anti what's in.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's like six like a sort of thump.
Yeah, it's
But
like
he's still very good.
it's very
You know what I
good,
And he's
man.
still so young.
Yeah.
He's very young. He's got a lot to say. He's like a mix between Wretch and like sort of Drake and like it's. I enjoyed that. I listened to Emily Sand. Like I listened to yesterday. I was driving, so like I got to listen to lots of like new UK music.
always good, yeah.
So I listened to Emily Sandé's new thing yesterday. I like Gigs. Obviously, you listen to Gigs when it comes out. I've not listened to Skepta's new one yet. I listen to everyone, not even because I love everyone, just because I need to know what's out there. Like, and if you do what I do, remember, like I put music in my films as well.
Of course,
So I
yes.
have to know what the sounds are. I have to know what people are digging in order for me to be able to create stuff.
Here's a question though. Alright, so you only had like enough memory space on your phone or like in your car memory. Yeah?
I got mad memory on my phone, you know.
To
It's
have
like
3
5
artists,
gigs. Yeah.
like, who've had projects like released in the last 2-3 years.
That's a good
Like,
question.
3 people that you listen to, like when you drive, in the gym, because you said like you wake up every
The
morning.
people that will take
like,
up that
yeah,
space.
like
That's a
3.
good question.
I just need 3 names
It's like desert
artists who have released projects in the last 2-3 years that you listen to, like that.
You know what?
Resonates with you.
I like J. Cole's last album, not this one.
UK.
You're pissed. It's UK only, bro.
UK.
We don't care about American shit.
Okay.
You don't care
about
about
J.
American.
Cole.
I'm sorry, man.
He doesn't care about American.
I care about
I'm like
J.
one of
Cole.
the few people on this thing actually care.
I don't even really like J. Cole. This is what's mad about
J.
it.
Cole ain't released nothing.
You know what?
new still.
No, yeah.
Actually, like this last
Had
album.
For Your
No,
Eyes
not
Only,
this
but
one,
that
this
was
one.
good.
Wait,
That
why are
was
you not
good.
talking about
For
J.
Your-
Cole?
for Your Eyes
Like
Only.
UK.
Yeah, I like that.
UK.
You know what? UK people don't make good albums.
You
Oh,
reckon?
mad. But they ain't all
I
your
think
films.
Rich.
No, wait.
All your
No,
films,
I'm
though.
generalizing
The
now.
soundtracks
No, I'm
and that.
generalizing now. I'm
Alright,
saying UK people don't make, like, genuinely, if you really break it down, a lot of UK people have banging singles and they don't have a pardon me.
No,
like,
but
this
Chip has
album.
good albums.
Huh?
Until recently.
So, like, let me hit you. So this year, I think, I'm not saying these are the ones I'm picking. Chip and Feki actually had two of the strongest albums.
You liked Fecky's?
This is the thing, like Feki's my boy, is my brother. So like, and I'm not saying this because
You
my
been
brother.
biased.
I feel like actually,
Wow.
what people didn't really appreciate Feki's. Well, like Feki's album for me, I thought it was just gonna be hype. But he tried to do different things. He had different styles on there, and for me, it was a surprising
Element.
hit for me this year. Like, because for me, I like, you know, it connected with me. But I think Chip's album, I never really liked Chip as well for a long time because I came across as arrogant. Chip, so I'll pick Chip.
I'm not gonna.
No, go on.
I'm not gonna like. I just need three names.
I'll pick Chip.
Explanations.
I'll
I just
pick
need
Chip.
three names. Sorry.
I really don't know three. Like, this is what's mad.
Just three people.
I'll pick Chip.
It's not. It's like it's not a personal
Yeah,
thing.
let him-
Just
Let
three.
him say it's
Well, you're
There's
saying
two
it's UK,
questions
it's
in one.
UK, and
Yeah, UK.
that limits me because like really and
Fecky
truly.
Chip. You've only got one
No,
more.
like I said, I'm not gonna put Feki on there
Oh, okay.
because you said 2 years.
Okay,
I like Gigs.
let's
I like
say the
Gigs.
last
Let's
year.
say Gigs is last one.
The Reese.
Which
No,
one?
no,
What
not
to
one.
them?
To them.
Landlord.
Oh,
Landlord, because that was the moment. That was what crossed over. That was what connected.
Well,
with
Landlord
everyone.
warm to them.
Landlord, because that's what took him to another level. So I would say Landlord. What happened to them is like reaping the benefit.
Of what happened? Yeah.
Yeah.
that's a good one.
And then maybe it's bait, but I'll pick Stormzy.
GSOP was a good album though.
Yeah, I
was
think
actually
I
a
think
really
like
good
I'll
album.
pick Stormzy because but I do like Krypton Conan's new one. I like.
Which one do you like?
Seven
Night or
Days.
Day?
No, I don't like the girl them one. Like,
Yeah, same.
I
You're just like me, man. I like the day.
I'm like a secret.
7
goon.
days. Yeah.
Some people don't know I'm a secret goon.
Not
Like,
Conan.
It's
like,
Crept.
I love
It's
Rick
Crept.
Ross.
Remember, it's Crept, not Conan.
Oh yeah.
I like Crept,
Not Conan.
I
No,
prefer
I know.
Crept.
Do you know what? I like both of them, but Krept is the one of the best barrers in
Yeah,
the UK.
exactly.
He can
He
spit
is.
his life out.
Alright, so still give me three names.
He's giving you free.
Gigs.
What are you listening to?
Gigs, Landlord.
Are you high?
No. I said
GSOP.
three people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's giving
yeah,
free.
I have two
Albums, but
Gigs,
it's not
Stormzy,
just
and
albums.
Femi, thank you for coming along.
Thanks for having me.
I really appreciate you on set. You know,
Yes,
you know,
yes,
gave
yes.
a lot of
I
insight.
appreciate you.
Gave you a lot of insight into
You know what I
into
like?
the
Major
You
key.
got a serious side to
Major
you, but you're
key,
also
you know.
very funny and you know.
Yeah.
That's a lot from Rose, you know.
I
Balance.
appreciate
Rose
you.
just co-signed you. Rose actually co-signed you. That's a
baby.
lot. Rosie Rose just
Look
co-signed
at
you.
all chuckling and
I love that.